Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Krsnatarian way of cooking. I am Radhika Pyari Devidasi, also known as Rashmi Baker, and today I am going to show you how to prepare corn and freshly made paneer quesadilla. This term quesadilla comes from Mexico, and to explain it in simple terms, it is similar to that of how we make Indian stuffed parathas. The basic and ideal recipe for making this quesadilla is using different tortilla flours together and making it into a flat bread and then stuffing cheese with it. In our recipe today, I am going to show you how we will mix different spices, vegetables, freshly made paneer and corn together, and then we will pan fry it. So let's look into the ingredients. So the very first thing we are going to do is heat the milk. Now what kind of milk you use is almond milk or coconut milk. Here I am using some almond milk. So let's heat this milk inside the pot. After our milk was warmed little bit, we will start mixing the flours together so that we can prepare a nice and soft dough. So here I have some wheat flour and then some corn flour. Try to use some corn flour instead of cornstarch because the corn flour is more thicker in consistency than the cornstarch, which is very soft. So the very first thing we are going to do is add the wheat flour into the bowl. So wheat flour, little bit of corn flour, nearly 1 teaspoon of salt, and we'll keep it aside, and then a tablespoon of oil. Mix all this together. After mixing it all together, I'll gradually add the milk and knead it. So here we used nearly 3/4 cup of warm milk, but if the milk falls short for the dough, then you can add a little more of it. Here is our dough ready. What we will do is, while we are mixing all the stuffing, vegetables and spices together, we will cover this with a lid and keep it aside at a warm place. So these are our stuffings which we are going to use for the quesadilla. This is the freshly made paneer. I crumbled them. I used whole milk and that's why it's a little creamish in color. If you have not made a fresh paneer, you can also use a ready-made paneer and then grate it. And then you can use it for the stuffing. So the very first thing we are going to add is all these vegetables. Look at this colorful vegetables. We have bell peppers, tomatoes, celery. You can also use cabbage if you don't have celery. And then there is this boiled yellow sweet corn and cilantro. Now, usually for this recipe I use parsley leaves, but because I didn't have parsley leaves, I'm using cilantro. So first I'm adding the corn, the paneer, all these colorful vegetables. Mix it together. And now one by one we will start adding the spices. Here we have some jaljeera or chaat powder. Just give some tang to it. Then I have some cumin powder. Coriander powder, red chili flakes, 1½ teaspoon of salt, a pinch of mustard powder. You can also use hing if you have hing, but I'm using mustard powder. And I have here lemon juice, which I will use nearly 2 teaspoons. See how it looks? This is so beautiful. Look at this. This is a very simple recipe. It's like one of the simplest quesadilla you can make. So I already showed you all the fillings which we are going to use in today's quesadilla recipe. But you can sometimes also use cheese along with the paneer. I try that trick sometimes just for an enhanced flavor of the quesadilla, but it's up to you. So I have turned on the heat for the non-stick pan to get little bit warm, and we will start making the quesadilla. So here I have divided the dough into 6 equal portions. If you would like your dough to be more smaller, you can make a smaller division and maybe you can have more quesadillas. So the very first thing I'm going to do is roll this dough. And now dust it in this flour. You can use either corn flour or you can use the wheat flour for it. And then place it over here. Take the rolling pin and start rolling this dough. We will try to make around 6 to 7 inch of flat bread. Not too thin and not too thick. So here is my uncooked flat bread, and now I will take spoonful of the filling and place the filling on one side of the flatbread. And now close it in a semicircle like a crescent moon shape. You may either close the edges or just keep it a little open as per your desire, the way you want it to do it. And in this similar way, we will prepare the remaining quesadillas. So here we have prepared all our uncooked quesadillas, and there's a tip I would like to share with you is when you are turning on the stove to heat the non-stick pan, once it's little hot, you reduce the heat to low so that the pan doesn't get too hot, because we have to cook the quesadilla on a very low heat. Because I have a non-stick pan, I'm not going to use any oil to grease on it. But if you're using like a tawa, which is like not non-stick, you can grease little bit of oil and then you can put your quesadilla on it. So we will place our first quesadilla. Gently. So letting this quesadilla cook till the base turns golden brown, and remember to please cook it on low heat, slowly and gently. You can also use some trick of using a lid and covering it so that it gets evenly cooked. It's up to you the way you want to cook it, but just make sure it's golden brown. So let's check the bottom of this quesadilla. Oh, it's perfect. Flip it to the other side gently and let the other side cook on low heat. So some of our quesadillas are prepared. We will cut them into half and place it on the plate. This is our simple quesadilla recipe. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave your comment and share this video as much as possible. We will be coming up with our next video soon. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.